cool that you come all the way here from Japan?
It's already been such a great experience, and I've only been here for a day.
Oh, hey Michelle.
Hey Mackenzie.
This is Kailani. She's a foreign exchange student from Japan.
Hi, I'm Tailani. Hi, I'm Michelle. Nice to meet you. Is that a yin yang sign on your phone case?
Yeah, Kailani got it from me yesterday. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, I gave it to her as a gift to remember me by. Why do you ask?
Well, I just learned about that in my religion class yesterday. It has a pretty cool meaning.
What religion do you practice?
I practice Confucianism. Here, sit down. We'll talk about it. What does the yin yang represent again? Yin yang symbolizes opposites and how they interact with each other, and then the forces that make up all aspects of life.
Oh, that's cool. So is it like a symbol in your religion?
Yeah. So it's like a cross in Christianity. They're both symbols in our religion.
Hey, also in Buddhism, we have the Buddha, and people often carry around small statues of him.
I've never really known any religion besides my own. This is really interesting. So do you guys have Bibles in churches like Christians do?
Well, kind of. Instead of going to a church, we go to temples. And instead of praying, we have devotional meditational practices. But they are comparable. Although I give time to worship, not everyone thinks of meditation as very important. Some schools de-emphasize meditation.
Oh, that's weird. Speaking of meditation, you best want to get up and go for a walk. I'm kind of tired of sitting here.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
Your religion, Michelle?
Well, in Confucianism, we also meditate in temples. We don't have a god. We have a founder of a religion named Confucius. His teaching is divided into two books called the Five Classics and the Four Books. In the Five Classics, it talks about the history of China in like topics like education, laws, government, those kind of things. In the Four Books, the Analects is the section that is the most popular. It has things like direct quotes from Confucius and holds values like respect your elders in it. It's really cool.
The five classics and the four books are like Bibles?
Sort of, but they're not strictly used for religious purposes. They were used in China's school systems long ago, and they're still used today. And remember, Confucius wasn't a god, he was a philosopher and a teacher.
That's kind of like Buddhism. But in Buddhism, we don't have a god, we have a special figure. His name is Buddha.
So like Jesus.
Well, people often get confused when thinking of Buddha. He's not a god, so he's not like Jesus. But he plays a similar role. Like how we see Buddha in a positive way, and you see Jesus in a positive way.
So if your religions don't have gods, how are they religions? Well, some people believe that Confucianism really isn't a religion and that it's more of a spiritual philosophy because we focus more on things like living up the values Confucius taught. We believe in things like perfecting humankind, keeping family the most important, respecting your elders, and learning from the past. How do you remember all that? So Confucianism is focusing on values and how people interact, and Christianity is focused on loving your God and forgiving others?
Yep. Pretty much.
So, Tailani, if Buddhism is similar to Confucianism, does that mean you guys don't have Bibles either?
I also have books. They are the Vinaya Pitaka, the Sutta Pitaka, and the Abhidhamma Pitaka. These are equivalent to the New Testament in your religion. These make up the foundation of Buddhism.
What is your religion even based off of?
My religion is based off of the Four Noble Truths, and they are about suffering. They are about when it begins, when it ends, and how it ends.
That's a lot of suffering. Do you guys hate life or something?
We don't hate life at all. We just realize that it's impermanent, and we try to live it fully in every moment. We have nirvana, which is the final step of death and rebirth, also the end of suffering. We believe in reincarnation, and that our souls can be passed on to another life until we reach enlightenment. We want to achieve our spiritual goals, and to achieve them, we have to follow the 5 precepts. They are basically to be a good person and don't do anything bad.
I've heard about enlightenment before, but what is it?
Enlightenment is basically being one in the universe. You need to know the meaning of life.
What is the meaning of life?
Oh, well, Buddha figured out the meaning of life, and it has something to do with the truth, but it is much more than that. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. Once you reach enlightenment, you will
escape the
karma
wheel of
you are
life.
not reborn, and your spiritual goals of reaching enlightenment are over.
Hey,
What do you have in here?
that's nice.
Stop. You know you were digging in there.
I never realized how different our religions were. It feels like we're more different than we were before.
Yeah, we really are.
Yes, but we understand each other better now, right?
Well, not really. I was just overloaded with information on 2 very different religions. In just a few minutes, too. Give me a second to process this. That's it!
What?
You said that the yin and yang represents opposites and differences, but they make up all the aspects of life, right?
Yeah, it's like balance and how things work in the world.
So that's kind of like how all the religions work in the world. They aren't all balanced out, but they are different and they teach their followers how to live their life. If it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, Islamic, Jewish, or even an atheist, you still believe in something, whether it's a god, science, or teaching of the philosopher.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never thought about it that way before.
Me neither. I guess we're not that different after all.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, do you want to come over and hang out at my house for a while with Tailani and I?
Sure, I'll see you guys there in 5.
Okay,
Bye.
What things did you learn that people do in their religions you studied that you also do?
Well, in the religions we studied, they all gave time to worship to like their god, or not necessarily their god, but their like founder of the religion.
They both have holy texts that they would read and follow and they believe in, similar to like the Bible, and they had the 4 books and the 5 classics.
And also the 3 baskets.
So they also like go somewhere to worship, whether it's like church or temples, they just go in those to worship.
And then all of the religions, and I'm pretty sure this is with almost every single religion, all religions want you to be a good person, and like the point for them is to try and teach you the ways to be a good person and like follow certain rules so that you can be the best person you can be. What differences did you see in other religions that surprised you?
Okay, well, there's temples instead of churches, and like we have churches instead of temples, and so like in temples, like some people they want to like wash themselves or get really clean before they go in them, and in churches you don't really wash yourself or anything, you just kind of walk into them.
And another thing is like they don't have, a lot of these religions don't have a god really like we do, and or some of them are based off of like philosophers or teachers. It's just kind of different because we're used to like praying to the god and it's just a teacher sometimes.
How do you feel now that you know so much on other religions? Well, now that I know so much on Buddhism and Confucianism, I mean, at first I thought it'd be like super different, but they really like aren't all that different because, well, I mean, they are different, but we are all human, so we're all in like the same group, and like it doesn't matter what religion you practice, you're human, and like it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, and so it just like helped me know why they act the way they like do. Like maybe some people before thought they might act weird or something, but now like I know why they act.
Okay, and I just thought that now that I know so much about this other religion, like you can kind of like not really connect, but you like Annalisa said, like just understand them better. And like I know maybe you thought like praying in a temple would be weird like before you learned about something, like afterwards you could realize that hey, it's just their way of expressing their faith, and it's similar to how you go maybe to a church and pray. What role does religion play in your life? Religion plays a pretty big role in my life, and I go to church twice a week. I pray. I go to like service projects and church camps. And to me, religion, as long as you practice it, it's not about how much or what you do. It's just about really believing somehow, somewhere deep down.
Yeah, I don't go to church as often as they do. I normally only go to church on special occasions or when my family randomly decides to just go to church one day. But I mean, just since I don't go to church as much as them doesn't mean I don't either believe as much as them or that I don't believe at all, because religion still has like an impact on me, just not necessarily as big of an impact as it has on them.
Religion plays a pretty big role in my life, like Allie, because we go to church twice a week too, and we usually pray before dinner. And in like hard times, that's where I always turn to my religion and everything. Like when my dog died when I was little,